Hey guys, I hope all is good. Well, here I am with the non-gaming edition of my year-end pickups. So you're covering some mainly toys, there's a few books, films and other bits. And yeah, I've got to keep it fairly quick. You may hear the washing machine going off in the background. It finishes in 22 minutes, so this video doesn't finish in 22 minutes, and then you're going to hear all kinds of sound effects and the rest of it. So yeah, let's get stuck in. I think I mentioned in the gaming edition that I met Ali 16 Bits and Bobs at Nottingham at the Games Expo, and that was like super cool to finally meet him. Been on a couple of like I've been on a stream with him. I've been on the swap shop with him for sure, but yeah, I haven't properly met him. And in fact, it was on the swap shop. He showed a few films, and I said, man, I would love some of them, and we knew we were both going to be at Nottingham, so yeah, he kindly brought them along, and very more kindly he gifted them to me. He wouldn't take any money, so Ali mate, I owe you. But yeah, they're all, I think, apart from, I don't know if it maybe has got a Studio Ghibli link to it, apart from the first, the others are definitely Studio Ghibli, and I've had a few like back in the day, but they've kind of, apart from I think it's Spirited Away, which is a fantastic film, which I've still got. A lot of the others have kind of just gone, yeah, kind of been missing over the years. So yeah, so this is the one which I say isn't. It's got the manga kind of branding on there. I don't think it's a Studio Ghibli, but correct me if you disagree. Origin, Spirits of the Past. But the others, obviously, by the branding, and because I think the majority of them I've seen, and they're fantastic. My Neighbour Totoro, Kiki's Delivery Service, Ponyo. I haven't seen this one, Arrietty, inspired by The Borrowers. If you've read that or seen the film. In fact, I haven't seen this one, Laputa. Castle in the Sky. This one I certainly have seen. It's a classic house moving castle. So yeah, cheers mate. Absolutely, it's got me back into the Studio Ghibli and just rewatching some of those blooming like classics. And I did, I can't remember where I got it from. I thought, okay, what other ones do I want? And this is, I don't know if it's one of the early ones, but it's certainly one of the classics. The Grave of the Fireflies, very kind of somber, kind of post-war kind of story. Yeah, a lot going on, but just beautifully done in terms of just the plot, obviously like the animation. Really cool. So yeah, set in Japan during World War II. So that's yeah, worth a rewatch for sure. Another tuber I've met up with a few times last year, 2022. And hopefully, I'm sure I'll meet up with him a lot more this year. Billy, so Car Strength Gaming. So last time I saw him, it was a couple of gifts that he brought along, which is really nice. So a couple of bits, Billy, which I still kind of owe you, which I've got upstairs, which I'll bring along to our first meetup of 2023. One of them I've already had to take it out of the packaging, a Star Wars land speeder vehicle, which is just like really cool, and got it sitting on the GameCube shelf where there's space on the bottom. But yeah, really, that's amazing. And another, he knows I love my Star Wars, but yeah, Empire Strikes Back widescreen edition, but in funky VHS. I'm sure I may have had this, or maybe one of my mates had it back in the day, but along with all my kind of VHS stuff from back then, it kind of got moved on. I don't know what sort of VHS looks like, but yay! Cool little few little images there on the inlay. That was cool. So yeah, thanks Billy. If I remember, hopefully I will. I'll put links to the channels in the description to this one. And then other stuff, an eBay. So I did, a bit of kind of purging of stuff, to be honest. Like some gaming bits, which for collections I wasn't massively kind of into, or didn't really have a bit of an aspiration to kind of grow any further, and some gaming bits when I went up into the loft probably November time, and I thought, geez, it's getting a bit out of hand with stuff. So I did get rid of a few bits. Some stuff sold pretty well, you know, not through design or anything, through a bit of luck. So I'd like the Lego Simpsons house, which, yeah, it's nice, you know, to have. I don't know if I put it together, where's it gonna? Haven't got the space, da 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 da, and I thought it's just going to sit up there indefinitely. I haven't even got space to display the box and down here, so that got moved on, and I've probably made about 4 times what I paid in it. So that's a bit crazy, but like an absolute plum, I mean, able to supposed to put in the money, squirreling it away for a rainy day, or you know, for the savings pot. Yeah, just buy some bloody toys, because that's what yeah, someone having a middle-age crisis wearing a Nirvana t-shirt is exactly what they need to do. So what do the spoils go towards? Few things. Some of them probably aren't even here, but the notable bits from Thundercats, Slythe. I never had this figure back in the day. I'm sure if you've watched the cartoon, then you'll recognise him. But absolutely super cool, like, figure. Just an absolute beast of a character. I'm guessing it probably was a bit more of an expensive one to make, because it's just, like, you know, designed like really like no other. Can't imagine them kind of butchering another kind of mold to make this one. But yeah, the kind of the paintwork on it, it's been played a little bit, but most of them have been, you know, chucked downstairs or out and about, and looking a lot worse than this one. So it's got a few little nicks and battle scars and bruises, but all in all, it's cool. And I think that was the only accessory that he came with. But if you do know and I'm missing something, then again, give me a shout, albeit to get something standalone accessory. It's probably a bit of a pain in the ass, so hopefully he is complete. But regardless, yeah, nice little display item. So that was one. Yeah, Billy and I went to Nerd Base, beginning of December. I'm pretty sure beginning of December, and had a look around there. Some kind of, I say, called like new retro stuff. So I think it's like reaction figures. Always get them a bit wrong with the branding. I've ripped them out of or cut them out the card backs, which I keep the card backs like separately because they're still nice. But I wanted to get to the figures to display them. But from Turtles, probably my favourite. Favourite like baddie, albeit at that stage he was actually a mate of the Turtles, and then things went a bit sour when they didn't fully appreciate his killing ways. But Casey Jones, absolutely friggin' amazing with his hockey stick and his club. Pretty iconic figure from the Turtles. Other anime, and again, it's just a beautiful. If I get the original one of this, would be amazing. I'm assuming it costs a fair bit of money, and would I'm assuming it probably has more accessories than this one's got here. But I think it's a mutagen man. It's like a mutant. You can see within a still a bit of a kind of a cyborgy kind of setup. It's not a full robot, but it's a bit of flesh on there, and his pistol. But lovely. Really cool figure. So chuffed with him, and those big solid feet. He's one of those few figures that doesn't go flying off the shelf because he's got goddamn stability, which is good. Everyone needs a glow in the dark RoboCop in their life. I didn't have one, but now I do, and it's the only. I think this and Scareglow from Master Universe were the only two glow in the dark things in the game's corner. The design of him, if you look at the detail, it's pretty like cruddy, but it's all about the glow in the dark. A bit ridiculous. I don't even think didn't come with a gun or anything, but just cheap and cheerful, and guides the way at night time. Within Nerd Base, which I should probably say, if you're not from not from the UK, is UK, like a Battlesbridge in Essex, so kind of southeast of the UK. It's a massive like toy place there, as you've just seen, cover some of the new ranges, but it also has a lot of old toys and old lots of Star Wars and Marvel related stuff. Huge comic range, and there's something for everyone. So there's, as well as high end, expensive kind of items, they do have loads of kind of bargain buckets, and every now and again I'll have a little look through. But on the figure side, it's very like hit and miss, and the stuff in there, I think this particular one was like a £3 £3 £3 bargain basket. So for me, someone that's pretty bloody old, you know, anything of my kind of era, it'd be very rare to find in a £3 basket. So I'm assuming this, and there's no clear markings on it. This is probably a lot newer than that, but it's a figure that I've had a lot of nostalgia for. So kind of King Kong. Yeah, me and my granddad used to watch. I'm assuming it was the one in like the 70s. It wasn't the black and white King Kong. I would say that might have been, but you always going around here and watching King Kong on the telly. And just so a bit of a kind of weird affinity with the crazy monkey. But kind of pick this up, still go around the shop. Billy and I were there for ages, and I heard this an aisle away from where the aisle was, where the bucket was kind of sitting. At King Kong in my pile, and I just heard this this kid say to their mum and dad like, I can't find the monkey, da da da. Then the mum was like, oh, must be in here somewhere, da da da. And like 2 seconds later, my small brain, it clicked, and I was like, shit, I picked up what he wanted, but I was just like, this is coming home with me. So we went to another part of the shop, and hopefully he didn't leave in tears. I'm sure he would have grabbed something else, but he didn't. Pick this up on the shelf. Absolutely amazing, absolutely loving them. So that's that. Some kind of eBay bits on the music side. I probably don't look like a hardcore rapper because I'm not one, but I do actually like my rap music. Loved the Beastie Boys, got to see them. I saw them just once in London, but got all their albums. Been following them for donkey's years, and they bought out the characters that they played within the Sabotage video. It's reflective because I've whacked it in a protective case, like I seem to do all things. But here's the other two. From chucking everything all over the place. From Ill Communication, the album, Sabotage. So that's that. What other bits and bobs have we got here? Another DVD from Peter Jackson. His first kind of film, Bad Taste, and I think it was my mate Tom. Literally back in the day when we were in our teens, got this and said, "Oh, you need to watch this." So I've seen this a few times over the years, and I think was it Brain Dead that came out shortly after. But Bad Taste, and he's in it as well, Peter Jackson, and it's just. Very, very silly, very, very kind of gory, very amateurish theatricals, but still like oddly realistic. Done on a budget, I should say. I shouldn't do it a disservice because the effects are probably a bit sickening, to say the least. But absolutely fantastic film. Again, probably bit from eBay. I don't know if you recognise that, but it's the rocket from Tintin. Again, I love Tintin, Asterix and stuff with Tintin. It's an iconic kind of piece. So I'm on top of my shelf with the King Kong and a few other bits. I've kind of got had a little rearrange, but got kind of my most iconic toys and bits and films at Robocop there and stuff that I can kind of focus on and go into a bit of a nostalgic trance. Mentioned it before. I think my last video I was wearing like a Ulysses 31 t-shirt, and I think well done Stuart, Generation Pixel. I think you already spotted that one. But having a bit of a Ulysses fix at the moment. So a couple of months ago I got the box set. Been rewatching all of them, and I haven't got it down a bit upstairs. I've got a 12-inch like vinyl of the soundtrack. A little like kind of metallic or die-cast robot No-No. It was pretty irritating really in the cartoon at the time, but looking back and now rewatching it, he ain't so bad. A little toy robot that Ulysses bought for his son Telemachus in the pilot in the very first episode, and obviously went to kind of help and create a few little comedy antics as the series progressed. But really cool little toy, that one. Up through streaming services, so we kind of rotate between them. At the moment we're on like the Apple Music streaming, so that was Ulysses soundtrack, so had some on there, but then when I was googling around, spotted this, and it's 40th anniversary. Say like soundtrack, it's far broader than the soundtrack. There's bits that we use which weren't used, even like sound effects, but it's just like an absolute jazz funk. Everything's in there, kind of cheesy, kind of 80s rock guitar stuff. It's a really, really good bit of music to listen to, and but the title track is obviously immediately kind of stand out and obvious, but the other stuff is very dark and broody and a bit like Miles Davis. I mean, if anyone's ever kind of listened to a bit of Bitches Brew and stuff, this is an incredible album, and they only made, I think, about 500 of these. A few on eBay. I did an offer and got it for 45 quid, which, based on the kind of the scarcity and my current geekiness of all things Ulysses, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna jump on it. And then it's like two discs. You've got like, open it in the middle, there's a little like pamphlet which has a bit about the music, about because the cartoon itself, it's like, I think it's a French design studio that pulled it together, but I'm pretty sure the music is by, I think it's like couple of American people, Danny Crockett and Ike Egan, and it's just out of this world. I've been trying to see what else they did since, but I haven't found much stuff, so I think that was their piece. Absolutely incredible. Kind of books now, so, and I think that's probably it. Books, and then in the end we've got 7 minutes on the washing machine, so we can have no more than 7 minutes on the video. My wife got me this for Christmas. I did add it to the list, but Dominic Diamond's autobiography. So goes past the oral history, but it's more a lot of Dominic Diamond related stuff in there, but it does talk about, I started to go through it a bit on Boxing Day, but all of the various series, some of the challenges, loads of pictures. Just a really, really good book. Nudging stuff around. I've got a few of the Bitmap Brothers books, but this one, I'm Too Young to Die, is just it's all about first-person shooters, and particularly for the really early ones. Again, I'm going to show my age, but the early ones are probably more familiar to me. Early PCs, Wolfenstein 3D, and like the shareware or the freeware discs and stuff. That got me really. It was the first 3D thing. It just blew my mind. On a very budget PC we had, but it worked great. And then from that onto Doom and all the rest of them. But this is really, really good. As with all of these books, the pictures, the level of detail, that goes a lot of love from the authors that kind of curate and pull these things together. This one, I think it was around like kind of COVID time, when I was just getting stuff from the library. I remember lockdown and kind of just ordering bits and stuff. But I wanted to do it for some time, but Neil Gaiman's The Sandman, the graphic novels, and they were all around, say, the county. It was more kind of South End, so about 3-4 libraries, but I managed to get through all of them, read them all. And then last year, it's like, these are like phenomenal. I really want to get them back and reread them. Since then, there's the show they've done on, or the TV program that they've put out on The Sandman, and looked on, I think, Amazon. You can get this like new, I think it's from like maybe a second-hand seller, but they've just got some new ones, and they kind of squirreled them away perhaps, and they kind of put them out with a lot of money. This was on eBay, and it was probably about 50 quid less. So I paid still a chunk of money, let's be frank. It was about 120 quid. If you buy them individually, you can pay about £15 for them, and there's 14 in total, so you do the maths on it. But it's it weighs a bloody ton. I was worried because it's a fragile-ish kind of case, just because of the weight of it. I thought it was going to turn up bruised and battered, but to be fair to the seller, did a fantastic job. Not really much evidence. Some of these you think, you can see someone's read the first couple, and not any of the others. Even the first one was barely, looking at the spine, barely untouched. I'm not going to go through all of them, but yeah, that's a fantastic. I think a few different people illustrated them, but obviously the kind of the story, the plot is by Neil Gaiman, but they're just like fantastic. Very kind of complex and convoluted, and in a positive way, but very full-on kind of plot lines as you kind of go through. While I was thankful that I read for pretty much book to book, I had them all kind of lined up, watching through the exemplary service of the Southend Library system. So yeah, looking forward to rereading them. But yeah, the Morpheus Lord of Sleep gets captured by some almost like an occultist in the UK and or in England, and yeah, it opens up all kinds of trouble that then works its way through the series. But an amazing set of books, like really good. 3 minutes, 2 more books. It's the biggest book, not just in the pickups, but the biggest book I think I bloody own in terms of pages, and maybe not pages, but certainly in terms of size. But this has been a probably labour of love for a couple of fantastic people, Gianni Venturini and Greg Armstrong. They pulled together basically a guide of all of the Kenner action figures. Superb. Like, I'll probably do a separate video. There's loads on eBay already, but it deserves a proper proper kind of dedicated focus on. But yeah, anyone that's into the toys and the vehicles, it's just absolutely beautiful. Love this book, and I didn't realise I'd ordered it about a year and a half ago, and I had an email one day from Gianni, and he's just like, oh, if you're around, I'll drop it off. And he lives probably about 10 minutes up the road, so he actually came round and hand delivered it. And yeah, it's just an incredible book. I'll try and open one page without opening up the Jawa, but the Jawa page. So you've literally got the figures, all the variants. And you think if anyone watching this into the video games, you think there's a lot of variants of video games. You wait, the world of toys and all the card backs is just it's out of this world. So that was that. 2 minutes showing on the washing machine. The final thing from one of my bestest of buddies, Ollie. Not getting emotional. I've just got a cough. He lives out in Spain. Kind of travels around a bit. Went to Turin, and went to an exhibition. Probably what the washing machine lies. 1 minute went just like that. But yeah, Dario Argento, one of my kind of famous, one of my most favourite film directors that there is. Some fantastic films. I put Profondo Rosso, like Deep Red, way up there in my top 5, top 10, and it's just apparently the exhibition was absolutely phenomenal, or phenomena. Even if you know that film, but it literally went round in chronological order. I think the place where it is, the museum, is a bit of a tower setup. So they had like these early films at the top, and as you went your way around, there was all kinds of memorabilia, like clothing, some of the weapons. It's mainly a lot of horror bits. They did some other stuff, but predominantly kind of horror. So a lot of lots of the bits that kind of be peppered throughout the films, and the scary looking dolls and all the rest of it are within here. So yeah, Ollie, Maria, thanks a million for that. And yeah, I'm now going to go and give my washing machine a great big beating. And I hope you enjoyed. Cheers for everything in 2022. Looking forward to more crazy, silly vids in 2023. All the best. Cheers.